Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and currently I'm kind of living my own dream at the moment because here I am at Abbey Road. I'm in the console room of Abbey Road. Outside that window there's a load of tourists taking pictures of Abbey Road. There's the crossing and people are just going across the crossing non-stop, and I'm just in here just messing around with the buttons. I'll be honest, I don't know how any of this works, right? I vaguely know how a mixing desk works in that this is the volume, and then this is the pan, and then like you can cut stuff here, there's a bit of EQ, but look at it, it's big, right? I don't understand how any of that works. I don't entirely understand how I've got myself in this situation, but currently we've been coming here for the past month or so, and we've been recording an EP under the name 65E3. So at the moment it's been me, my girlfriend Lydia, and it has been Leo, who has been so kind as to help us to get into this space. So we've been having a whale of a time, and we've been doing it enough now that I've figured out what kind of works and what doesn't with regards to coming into a studio. When we first came in, I came in with like very concrete ideas for songs, and like this is what's going to happen here, this happens here, this happens here, this happens here, quite dictatorial about it. Not as in like I'm dictating what needs to happen, but I know exactly how the song should go at any one moment, right? And I found that everything was going quite slowly. Maybe this is the boring side of recording, but it just felt kind of like, yeah, we're sitting here, we're tracking the guitar, again and again and again, one guitar at a time, then the bass, then the vocals, then the shaker, just endless like that, right? And I found what was more interesting was just miking up as much as humanly possible. Get the drums mic'd up, get the piano mic'd up, get the guitars mic'd up, get the bass mic'd up, and just record everything. And just hit record on there, and then go in there and just record non-stop. The room where we actually play is on the other side of this camera, and so we would just go in there and just play as a band, right? And at the moment it's been a bit of a revolving door. We had a guy called Isaac come in and do some drumming on a song which we're not entirely sure what it's going to be called yet. I've been saying cheese and bread and butter, but it's all about cheese on toast, and it sounds a little bit sort of like this. Like that. And it's got this little turnaround. So Lydia's been writing all the lyrics and doing the vocals on this stuff, and I've been more in charge of the music side of things. And that as a duo has been really, really working, because I find that my style of lyricism is a bit pretentious. It's a bit like, I want to say something, I want to write a song about this, and so I really sit and tweak the words to make sure everything's absolutely like perfect, and I get really perfectionist a bit in it and in my own head about it, and it ends up resulting in songs that feel like they're not the full sum of their parts, like they're half a story that used to be a full story, but I kept picking at bits and just replacing other bits in. It just almost feels like the ship of Theseus a little bit. You know how the idea is there's a ship and like you replace the bow and you replace the stern, you replace all these various bits. At what point is it still the same ship? I feel like I've replaced half the ship and I'm sitting there going, oh, it's the same ship as always. And it's not, it's some mutant of a ship, right? So lately, I've been trying to strip all that back and just write one song, and like that's it. And the only thing I'll change is like the tiniest, like if I find a better way of wording something, rather than going through and trying to remake the entire song. Whereas Lydia is a lot better at writing music than I am, and she has a different style to the way that she writes. And I just think that, I mean, I could never have written a song like Cheese and Bread and Butter, and it sounds like it's sort of whimsical, right? And I think that the lyrics are whimsical, but importantly, they are not tongue-in-cheek. I can't stand tongue-in-cheek stuff, and this, it feels like it's taking itself not necessarily like completely 100% seriously, but it's not being ironic about it. It's not winking at the audience going, huh, yeah, it's a song about cheese on toast, we know, you know. It's not like that. It's just sitting there, making the song, here's the song about cheese on toast, and I think it's a really good song. We've got that one tracked. We're currently tracking another one at the moment called Away, which is about sort of the idea of growing up, and then when you are growing up, you kind of grow up again into like a new form. You know when you're 25 and you feel like you need to grow up, but you're already a grown-up. It's kind of like that. So that's what that one's about. So those 2 songs are what we've got so far. And we've also had a few jams and things like that have all been recorded. And we want to get 2 more songs and make an EP. And we're going to put that EP out maybe on CD, maybe on whatever. I don't know, no promises on anything yet. But the idea I have is to make some proper music videos for it, really show it off as a real project, because look, we're in Abbey Road Studios, it's recorded on this, right? So it's not like my normal music, which is just done on a Focusrite Scala in my bedroom, right? This is real, right? This is a real like band with real people playing, playing together, not just me doing everything. And I'm really enjoying that creative process, and it's fun to have that as a thing, right? And the idea I have is to maybe take it to labels. Not necessarily because I want to be part of the label fucking studio system or anything like that, but even if they tell us to like send ourselves packing and just like laugh us away, I'd at least like the opportunity to have been laughed away, to understand what it's like inside of these spaces, to understand how these people think, to understand what they want, what they don't want, and to understand and to even get the offer. And then for me to sit and decide if I actually want to do it. I want to grapple with those things so that I can then use it as education for myself and where I want to go moving forward with regards to music. Because when I started doing music, I wanted it to be pure hobby, and film was the work thing, right? Because film obviously started as a hobby and then became more work, and as it became more work, I started to enjoy it less, and the less I enjoyed it, I wanted some other creative outlet that I could just enjoy, and music was that, and I could just do music and enjoy music and not be making music to try and make a profit, to try and make money out of it, right? And it seems like music is now getting to that same point that film was in, and I kind of want to keep it in that hobby sphere. I want to be a hobbyist. I want to do the odd, like, not regional tour, but like city tour. I'd like to do like 3 nights in London as a tour and then go home in between each night and just go to sleep and then come back out, I don't want to take it all so serious like a proper band, but if it did get to that point, I would happily go along with it if that success did come along, because I don't have a clue how I've ended up here. I have no fucking idea how I've ended up here. Leo has gotten us in, right? And thank you so much to Leo, right, for getting us in here. He's amazing. He's an absolutely amazing person. Not just as for getting us in here, but also like just to talk to. He's a fun guy. And I don't know. I feel like if I sat and tried to get into Abbey Road, I wouldn't be able to, right? But for some reason, not trying means I'm here. I don't know what that means. I don't know how I've gotten to this point. I don't know what events have happened to transpire to get me to this point, right? But it seems like it's all worked, right? Everything kind of just works itself out. And I know that it's probably a massive point of privilege, me sitting here with my 50,000 subscribers, like, ooh, I'm in Abbey Road, right? You can't get into Abbey Road, but I can because I presume it's just because I'm famous. Not famous, but like, I've been recognised in the street and stuff, so I presume it's because of that, right? But I don't know. I really don't have a clue how I've ended up here, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I want to make the most of it, right? And to come out with this EP that's proper, distinct, and a lot of effort has been put into it, and it's proper, right? That's what I want for it. And I feel like a lot of it is kind of fake it till you make it, right? Because I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional musician. I've never really done many shows. I've never had classical training, like proper training or a guitar teacher ever in my life. I learned everything off of YouTube videos, right? And I've probably learned everything wrong. And I don't know how any of that works. I don't know what all of this is all about. I vaguely know music theory, but it's in my own weird bastardized way, right? And it seems to be working out. And people keep saying that I'm a good guitarist, and I'm like, I'm not really. And that sounds like I'm fishing for compliments, and I'm not. I don't need a load of fucking compliments about it, because I'm not like insecure about my skill level of it. But I keep getting these compliments, and eventually I kind of had to learn how to take a compliment, because it's very easy to sit there and go, oh no, I'm terrible, oh no, I'm terrible. And eventually, the more you do that, the more you kind of piss the person off. If you're trying to compliment someone and they're just sat there going, no, you're wrong, I'm shit. Eventually, you just turn around and just go, yeah, well, you are shit. Shut the fuck up. Take a compliment. Right? I used to get told that all the time. Learn to take a compliment, right? And somehow I've ended up here, and I really don't know exactly how it's happened, but I am living my dream. I am living my absolute wildest dream as a reality, as just the norm, right? Now I live the getting the Jubilee line here, you know, and I sit on the Jubilee line going to Abbey Road. You know, that's the bit you don't think about. You don't think about being on the train, going through the platform, going down the escalator. All of these things are part of the Abbey Road experience. I mean, because I'm traveling there, you know, in your mind, all of that stuff just gets erased. And as a memory, right, I'm only going to remember this bit. I'm not going to remember being on the Jubilee line here, but that was all part of it. You know, I was sat there thinking, I'm going to be at Abbey Road now, but by now I'm kind of used to it. I've been here about 6, 7 times now, so now I'm used to it, right? And I'm so grateful to be here at the end of the day. I'm so fucking grateful to be able to sit here and play a fucking rock star, you know, like with the shirt all done like this, like that makes me look like such an unlikable knob, right? So I'm going to button that up, right? So, you know, all I have to say is if you have a dream, right, pursuing it is all well and good, right? And you should pursue your dream, right? But don't have the dream fully in your mind all the time, constantly thinking about the dream. Just have it. Just don't think about it that much, and eventually it will happen. Because if you keep sitting there in your own head about it, it won't happen. Things won't happen. You'll only live the dream in your mind rather than actualizing it, right? I don't feel like I put particularly much effort in getting here, right? But when the opportunity to put those little bits of effort in came around, I took those little opportunities to put that bit of effort in. And each time I took those opportunities, I managed to get myself here, right? Anytime, and it's all about doing those little things so that you get the opportunity. A lot of it is showing up. I can't remember if it's Robert De Niro. He said 50% of work as a successful actor is just showing up. Just show up at the place, and then the rest of it just sorts itself out. And you know how you show up to places? You get up, you leave your house, you get on the Jubilee line, you sit in the sweat, then you get off at your station, then you walk the 15 minutes to the destination. Extrapolate that to wherever you live. Get in your car and drive to the place, right? Sit in the traffic jam. That's all part of the experience. All of these things are part of the experience because the dream isn't just the dream, it's also the mundanities that surround the dream, right? And once you start to see the dream, it becomes not less interesting, but more realistic, right? And that, in a way, is even more interesting because now it doesn't seem like some crazy thing that I could never imagine. Now I don't even need to imagine it because I just know what it is, if that makes sense, right? And I feel like this entire video is just an egotistical rant, and essentially it is because I'm in Abbey fucking Road, right? So I'm using the opportunity to film this video. Leo and Lydia are off getting a coffee somewhere, so I thought I'd just take the time to record this video. So I'll show you this. I don't know how any of it works. If anyone knows how this works, can you let me know? Put it in the comments about how this works, and then I can impress Leo next time we come over, and I can be like, oh yeah, we're gonna put the line there. I don't even want to touch it for the example because I'm just scared it's gonna explode. Yeah. I know that these are the monitors. These are the center monitors. There's 2 of these mid monitors, and then these are the wide monitors. But I don't know what that means. Right? I don't know if you can see that screen there. That's got a drum track that Leo has tempo mapped to what we've been doing. We're currently recording a song called Away, which I just talked about, and it kind of goes like this. And then it just carries on like that. It's a very simple song. People say it's got a bit of a Latin feel to it, and I do kind of agree with them. I don't know what genre that is, because it's going to be quite an acoustic-y song. There's a bit of shaker, there's a bit of bass. It's not going to be electric. I don't think it's going to turn into rock at any point. But yeah, I just really, I love the song. I love Lydia's writing. I love Leo's studio engineering. I love the entire situation. I feel like I'm living my dream. Right. And that's kind of all I wanted to make the video about. So I hope you managed to get something out of this, which is, if you have a dream, don't sit in your own head about it, right? Just whenever an opportunity to do anything even vaguely similar to your dream comes around, take it, right? Don't feel like you're not good enough, right? Because I'll tell you what, I'm a talentless fucking hack, and I'm here, right? You know the amount of godshite fucking musicians out there that tour all over the world. Name whatever musician you don't like. I don't particularly like Nickelback, right? I think they're a load of shite. But you know what? They took the opportunities to get where they are today. And you know what? They're successful, right? Doing what they do. But whether they're talented or not, they managed to do it. And you might be more talented than Nickelback. So why aren't you doing it, right? Because you don't have the opportunities. So whenever there's even a vaguest semblance of an opportunity, you need to take it. Right then, right there, right? Go to your local, if it's music, go to your local shows, meet with people. It's about who you know, not what you know. If I didn't know Leo, I wouldn't be here, right? And that's such a cliche. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? I know so many people that know so much about music theory. I know one guy who talks about the Locrian double harmonized blah, 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 blah music, right? And all he does is he just plays the same bastarding fucking songs at the same open mics, and he's not getting anywhere with it. The reason he's not getting anywhere with it is because he's not taking those opportunities when they arrive, right? So you don't need to have his skill level, because I'll tell you what, he's such a good guitarist that he puts me to fucking shame. He makes me look like I don't even know how to play guitar full stop by comparison, right? But he's not taking those opportunities, right? So if you take the opportunities that come your way, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how skilled you are, it doesn't matter what is your talent or whatever. All that matters is that you've got the drive to take the opportunities and the charisma to keep the conversation going whilst the opportunity is happening. Right? Because you want to go away from that little opportunity with people thinking, he was really nice, I want to invite him back. That's it. That's all there is to this. So yeah, I love you all. You're all fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching these videos and liking, subscribing, all that bullshit. I'm not going to do the whole spiel, right? Because no one wants to hear it. You know, like and subscribe. You already know to do that, right? And but essentially, thank you for allowing me to be put in this position, because I don't think I would be in this position if it weren't for you guys, right? And I want to make something as good as possible to give back to you for giving me this opportunity. I want to give you the best EP that I can possibly provide for you. And not just that, whilst I'm at home, I'm recording an entire separate album, right? Which I haven't even talked about in this video, right? We'll do another video about that, maybe at home, right? So yeah, that's going to be it from me. I'm going to pretend like I'm fiddling around with these. Let's pretend there's a microphone there, and I'm going to play you out with a bit of a way. By the way, I can't even do fucking bar chords, right? When I'm doing a B, I'm not doing all that shit, I'm doing that. It's literally just a power chord, right? And I did that because I can't do bar chords, right? So it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Listen to how shit my playing is.